So this is a very small bottle of a whiskey. The end. No. This is a bottle of Arran. Not a person called Arran. It's a distillery called Arran on the Isle of Arran. Are you following this so far? The Isle of Arran is an island surrounded by water. Hence why it's called an island. Otherwise it would just be... So this is a teeny tiny bottle of Arran Quarter Cask. This is the second time I'm doing an Arran product. The first time was ages ago, and the video might not even exist anymore, actually, now I come to think of it. I've done the Sauterne cask in the past. It was pretty nice. This is something that I've had heavily recommended to me by friends, family members, and some enemies as well. It's just that good. You're probably asking, the fuck's a quarter cask? Do they, like, chop a cask into fourths? If you're American, because you say fourths instead of quarters for some reason. I was always told in primary school, don't say that or we'll hit you. I had some real cunts in my primary school. They were the teachers. A quarter cask is just a smaller cask. That's it. I could bore you with the exact dimensions and the exact weight and the exact amount of liquid they normally carry and the history of it, but let's face it, you probably don't give a fuck. The bottom line is, it's smaller and therefore the surface area of the wood, more of the liquid is in contact with the wood because it holds less volume, because that's how volume works. I didn't do very well at GCSE maths, so that might be a lie, but it means that there's more flavour in the whiskey and it matures faster as a consequence. Quarter casks are shit from a production point of view, but they're fucking great in terms of making a product point of view. They're shit because they're expensive, you get fuck all yield, they leak, they're just shit. But quarter cask whiskies are fucking great. So that's the thing with them. Loads of distilleries do quarter cask editions. Arran's not the only one. There's a Lefroy quarter cask. I've been meaning to get my hands on that at some point. I've been meaning to do more Lefroys in general, actually. I've got a vintage Lefroy up there, which has been eyeing me up, which I really need to get around to at some point. But that's not what we're doing today. So this is an island distillery, so there's the usual thing of like, oh, well, it'll taste like the sea. I have never had any of these taste like tuna, which is good, because I fucking hate tuna. That'd be bad. It's 56%. I'm still a bit out of it. You can probably tell these next few videos are going to be kind of weird, a little bit off kilter. My energy varies depending on the particular kinds of days. Normally I wouldn't record a video on a day when I'm feeling like this, because I just ramble and go off on an airy-fairy journey and what I was doing kind of gets left behind. But because of various shenanigans, I have nothing recorded and I just need to get some recording done. So there's going to be a block of videos where I'm just out of it. I'm not on anything. I'm not drunk. I'm just kind of... So anyway, I should put this in a thing. This does not have an age statement. We don't give a shit about that at the minute. So we'll just say it's 3 years old, because it has to be anyway. That was quite a lot for quite a strong whiskey. This could be bad. I'm sure it'll be fine. Couldn't make me much worse. If anything, it'll make me more coherent. I nearly said cohesive then. I am not a glue. Maybe Pritstick, actually, because Pritstick's shit. His videos are going to be weird. I'm going to be editing this and I'm like, can I use any of this? Any of it? If you're watching some of these and you're getting to like the 5-minute mark and just being like, it's worth fucking BAFTA, this is great. You need help. It smells kind of like a tree, which isn't that weird, because trees are made out of wood, and casks are made out of dead trees. That's fucking grim when you think about it, actually. How much is the whiskey industry contributing to deforestation? Oh no. Oh, I've unlidded the genie. It's very pine-like, actually. It kind of smells like you juiced a Christmas tree. It's very fresh, grassy, hint of pears. What is that? A Sharpie. Like a magic marker kind of a thing. Everyone sniffs pens every once in a while, right? This is really specific. Has anyone ever, like, sanded a floorboard? Probably not. Okay. If you sand or lathe wood, sometimes, you take sort of like the old layer off, and there's this kind of burst of fresh wood that fills the room. It's kind of like that. It's opening up to something, it's a little more perfumey. There's something a little bit like violets. And just pollen. It's weird, because normally I just talk about it being caramelly and vanilla-y and a little bit woody. So you can tell I'm not just repeating myself all the fucking time. I mean, 9 times out of 10, but there's something a little bit Duluxy about it as well. Like a freshly opened tin of paint. There is something quite solvency about it. Smoke me a kipper. Okay. It's so fresh. There's like a toasted corn element to it. There's freshly baked bread elements. There's a little bit yeasty. It's really sprucey and pine-like. It's sort of like you try to make whiskey out of a forest. The wood components are truly extraordinary. There's a sappy, dewy element to it. It's I feel like a beaver. You know, the animal, not a vagina. It's just been like gnawing through trees all day long, and then like took a swig of Arran 10-year-old for good measure. The normal sort of like vanilla-y, caramelly notes are completely absent, but it's also not like saline or like, you know, salty sea air and all the rest of it. There's no real hint of smoke or peat. I'm struggling with this a little bit because it's so completely outside of what I'm used to and what I can normally kind of like, you know, just go, oh yeah, no, this is familiar, yeah, we're down this road again. And I'm struggling with it a little bit because there's something herbal about it. That's what I'm struggling with a little bit. It's quite grassy and vegetal and herby, but it's not savoury and it's not sweet. It's not sour. It's difficult to describe other than just to say that it's fresh and I don't know, I just get like this image of like a forest when I'm thinking about it. I'm going to try this with a bit of water now because, I mean, probably better had to. I'm going to go quite heavy, which I don't normally do, but full teaspoon. Been watching a lot of Ralphie, can you tell? I like to think that I'm Ralphie if he completely lost his mind. Like, he can be edgy sometimes, but like, completely. Okay, there's something a little more familiar of it now. There's a little more of a vanilla component coming through, but it's still quite faint, and there's still a more vegetal, grassy, walking through a forest in the morning kind of a deal. Do you know, I know what it reminds me of, but it's drawing on specific memories that I have, and this might not be the same with you depending on where you've grown up. Where I grew up, it was a suburban, not exactly leafy, it was quite chavvy actually, but it was this weird mix of like quite a lot of concrete and quite a lot of trees. Sort of like roads and stuff here, and then a massive great big forest here. The street I grew up in, it's bizarre. It would make a great setting for it wouldn't make a great setting for anything actually, other than if you were trying to like film something in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, but you wanted to be like, but trees still exist. But of a morning, if I couldn't sleep, I would get up, well, I'd stay in bed, but I would like get up, read a book, and I'd open the window, and the smells of the morning would come through, and it would, if it had been raining, it would be a mix of dew and trees and sort of like wet branches and stuff, and also the petrichor of like the dust in the road mixing with the rain, and it kind of diffusing into the morning mist. And that's a really specific thing, but I remember it, and that's what it's reminding me of. That was cool, wasn't it? Maybe I should just make a video of me doing that for 30 minutes. Do you think that would get views? People watch some weird shit, man. It opens up and it becomes a little more savoury. It's got sort of like there's like a sweet corn element. If you added salted butter to it, there's a richness to it. It's a little bit salty now. There's a natural crisp sweetness. It is like sweet corn. I don't know how else to describe it other than to say sweet corn. And it's quite a thick, rich mouthfeel. So that's where the butteriness comes through. It tastes like a memory. It tastes like a memory of a restless night and being up in the morning, which is not like me at all. I'm not a morning person. I'm a total fucking night owl. But it's just a freshness and a greenness and a grassiness to it that's wonderful. Very different. It's very, very different. Am I a huge fan of it? It's a difficult one. I'm not sure if I would go back to it, because it's very unusual. The quality of it is clear. It's like an adventure in and of itself, but not kind of like a Doctor Who adventure, more kind of like a sort of like a cerebral Swedish drama. I don't know where I'm going with that. Yeah, it's almost like it's slower paced, but it packs loads of flavour. And it has to, because the flavour it packs is so strange. It is. It's a little bit bonkers. You're probably watching this now and be like, I've got a bottle of quarter cask and it's not like that. This is just what I think. I mean, I think this jumper looks great. Everyone's got an opinion. It does look great. Fuck you. Yeah, I like this. It's nice. There'll be ratings down below. I'm going to go away and I'm going to think about it a bit more, and it'll do like my final score down below. I might surprise myself, who knows. It's a good whiskey. It's a more advanced whiskey, I will say that much. If you're just starting out, I don't know. I don't think that this would suit you. If you're just getting into your whiskey and you're like, all right, I want something that's quite inviting and easy. This is more of a kind of like a, ooh, what does that remind me of? What am I getting from this? What am I thinking of right now? Where's it taking me? Because I drink a fair bit of whiskey, as you might know, and if you don't, there'll be playlists and backlogs and all sorts. And this is very different. And I've tried some fucking weird whiskies. I've tried a French one that tastes like bananas, for Christ's sake. Yeah, I dig it. I'm into it. I like it. It's nice. It's good. It's doing good things to my face. Comment down below, have you tried any of the Arrans? What do you think of the redesign? I didn't deliberately not put a bottle in front of me. I kind of like them. I didn't, but they're growing on me. Now that more of the range is following suit, I'm kind of digging it. I kind of like it. I think loads of people have issues with change, and then after a while they kind of go, yeah, all right. What was it recently? Some football club had changed their crest to a Viking, and everyone was like, oh no, I don't like that because it's not traditional. We've had the same logo for 963 years. No, I don't like it. I don't fucking remember who they are. I don't give a shit about football. But yeah, change can be a good thing sometimes, and they've done some quite progressive, interesting things, like putting Braille on the label, for example. Big up to that. Like that. That's a good move. Yeah, let me know down below. What do you think? Have you tried the quarter cask? Do you like it? Do you agree with me that it's a little bit unusual? Do you agree with me about the whole petrichor thing? Or does it remind you of something else? Or do you just think I'm miles out and it's actually kind of standard? Is it just me? Thumb the video if you enjoyed this, and there'll also be links down to my Patreon if you want to chuck me a $5. Gratefully appreciated. And there'll be credits at the end for people that help out the channel, because they're top lads. I'm not the WikiCast, I shouldn't say that. You should check out the Whiskey Cask actually while you're at it, they're pretty fun. And until next time, do join me when I'll be drinking something else. I did that the wrong way around.